Welcome back to Jakarta Movers and Shakers. I'm still joined by Bima Yudhistira, the director of think tank Silios, continuing our discussion about Indonesia's efforts to alleviate poverty. The Indonesian government recently announced they're aiming to reduce extreme poverty to 0%. Now, I want to ask you about overall poverty as well. In 2022, poverty did go down compared to 2021. Do you think that is a trend that will still continue, and is that positive signs?
Yeah, we do believe that the poverty rate will be declined. However, it also depends on the several factors. For instance, the reopening of the economy, how about the small medium enterprise, which absorb more than 75% of the total workforce. They also need help by the government. As many surveys suggest that 90% of the small medium enterprise currently need new capital from the bank, from the financial institutions, so they can buy in the raw materials and start up again their business. Because of the pandemic, they suffer a lot. So it is also need government concern or government help. And the second one, I think it also depends on the inflation management, how to bring down the inflations back to the pre-pandemic level, which is around 3%. Currently, the inflation rate is above 5%. So we need to bring down the inflation rate, bring more job, and also the structural problems, bring more healthcare facilities, especially in the village area, in the rural area, and also in the post of the Indonesian borders. I think the government also care about how the quality of education and how about the inequality of the teachers need to be reduced. That many of the young potential coming from the poor household can get better educations. So the government also need to take care of government budget, especially the social protections need to be increased. On the other hand, the government also need to focus more in the infrastructure project that related directly to the decreasing number of the poverty rate.
Right, and of course, Indonesia's economy grew by 5.3% in 2022. However, between March 2022 to September 2022, poverty actually increased slightly. In March 2022, the poverty rate was 9.54%. And in September 2022, the poverty rate was 9.57%. So it increased, even though Indonesia's economy saw, substantial positive economic growth last year. So is there still inequality in terms of the growth in Indonesia? And just talk more about that.
Yeah, the inequality also occur because many of the poor households didn't enjoy the bonanza of the commodity or commodity booming. So when the palm oil industry is growing rapidly during that year that you mentioned, 2021, 2022, many of the poor households still suffer from the increasing price of the cooking oil at the time. So how to connect this commodity booming with the employment, with the poverty reductions is still the government strategy need to push about. And then the second thing is many of the poor households also didn't get the attention from the investments, especially the investment in the downstreaming process. So we see in the Sulawesi area, many of the downstreaming process industry employ more like university graduate, also employ more foreign workers. So how to connect this investment, which is rapidly growing, with the absorption from the employment in the household, which is in the bottom of the poverty lines.
Right. Interesting that you mentioned investment. Of course, investments into Indonesia last year reached its all-time record high. But as you say, employment is not widespread among Indonesians itself. So still some work to do, still many efforts to go until poverty can be eradicated in Indonesia. Of course, Bima Yudhistira, Director of Silios, thank you so much for your insights this afternoon.
Yeah, thank you.